Welcome to Mind Your Business with Cyrus Webb
and Earl Hall.
There are things every business owner talks about.
These two business owners and friends
talk about those things and so much more.
Get ready to laugh and learn. Mind Your Business starts now.
And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mind Your Business. I'm Cyrus Webb. In just a moment, I'll be joined by my co-host, Earl Hall. And we're excited about today's broadcast. I'm glad you all could be with us. If you guys are new to us here, I'm going to make sure you guys follow us both. There is Earl. Going to go ahead and bring him in. Topic. If you guys have any comments, feel free to be able to drop those down in the comment section. We'll be glad to be able to highlight those as well as use the question bar. Earl Hall, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing amazing. How are you doing, Mr. Webb? I hope you're doing amazing.
I'm doing amazing. Hello to you, Melissa Bates. Hope you're doing well, too. You guys,
Melissa.
I know you guys are coming off your weekend. You're well rested and all of that stuff.
I don't know what the eyes are for. I'm trying to figure out what the...
What?
I don't understand.
Everybody I can have a twitch. I may have a twitch. We don't judge around here. You know, but
yeah.
But again, glad you all could be with us for today's show. Earl, first of all, I want to say this has been a lot of fun. We're about to add a new dimension to Mind Your Business. We're already growing, which we'll be talking more about that with our audience later. But we are excited about today's show. As you guys know, Mind Your Business is all about business. It's all about friendship, but also realizing that there's no one path. Earl and I both have our own path to what we call success. As we talked about on this program, success is personal for whatever that is for you. But the important thing, especially as an entrepreneur, that you are looking at yourself as the business owner that you are, which ties into our topic for today, which is how to treat your business like a business. And this is my topic today, thus my having the elevated level of being here. I don't know what
We're just going to go back and forth. Yeah. We're just, tune in next week when I'm at the elevated level. Stay tuned in, listen to what he has to say.
With this important topic today. So I want to, people, I say a lot of times, half jokingly, Earl, that no one's going to really feel sorry for the problems that I have in business. Because the problems I have in business are not real problems. They're more up here than anything else. Mm-hmm. But that actually is a great for today's topic, because I think when it comes to treating your business like a business, that has to do with up here, the mindset. It's not so much about if you have a storefront. It's not if you have a kiosk somewhere, if you have a booth, if you're setting, no matter how your business is operated, the real challenge is up here when it comes to how you treat it. Because if you don't treat it, I've learned this personally, and I'm speaking from experience. If you don't treat it like what it is, people will not respect it for what it is. If you treat it like it's not really, like I've been told, like a mom and pop shop, if you treat it like that, that's how it will be perceived. And that can do damage. So Earl, for me, the challenge in treating my business like a business, I was sharing an example with you earlier today. Before you guys know me in this world, offline, I was known as CA Webb, which I'm still CA Webb. But when I did just my poetry and my artwork is what people initially got to know me for.
Right.
And I used to sell my artwork at original artwork for a ridiculous price. Ridiculous. But I didn't, because I didn't understand the add in the different things, like the amount of time. At that time I wasn't being given equipment, so I was having to buy stuff. So, yeah, I know, right? Being in business, you have to buy stuff. But I didn't understand, so I was pricing myself at $20, $30, $50 may have been the max I was charging for original artwork at that time. And now, of course, I would not do that. I sell prints for that amount of money.
Yeah, I wish I would have got my original drawing, Cyrus Webb drawing, for $30, but I paid an appropriate price.
Yeah, you met me when I had some sense.
Yeah,
but I'm still but it's still a challenge for me. So Earl, I'm curious about you. When I chose this topic about how to treat a business like a business, what comes to mind for you? I'm curious.
Well, I have to piggyback or go back to what you said about what you were experiencing up here. And the interesting thing is everything happens up here. And I really want the audience and us to really think about this. There is nothing that happens externally. Nothing. We think it does, but if you take a look, everyone's looking at their cell phone right now, right? And no matter whether you're outside and looking at scenery or like I'm in my bedroom, I can see my bed, but it's not out there. It's actually in here. My eyes and the brain catches the reflection and all that kind of stuff, and everything happens in here. If I touch something, if I touch my cell phone, it's happening up here because the signals are being sent to the brain. Without the brain, nothing happens. So everything happens inside of us, within us. We don't actually experience things outside of us. So that mental part is so big. So, but when it comes to our business and treating it like a business, I think most people that start out, they don't know their value. They're trying to get that understanding of what to charge. You know, when I talk to voiceover artists and they're telling me, well, they're asking me, how much should I charge for my services? And it's like, well, how long have you been doing it? How many clients have you had? What have you been charging traditionally? And we grow to that. And you've heard me say so many times, if you have a product or service and everyone is saying yes really quick, it means your price is too low. That's what that means. It's like when anytime you tell someone how much you charge, oh great, let's do it. Your price is too low. So take that, because I know that to be true. And when you treat your business like a business, initially as well, it can be kind of scary because it has a lot to do with how you feel about your self-worth, what you are worth. And a lot of times people have money issues. I think all of us do, good or bad. We have some sort of money issue. I know I have one. You have a money issue as well. And so it's like, how do I quantify what it is that I charge? And the normal thing that we do is we look at other people in our industry to see what they are charging. But I think what we have to do is differentiate ourselves from all those other people, some way, shape, or form. But treating your business like a business is going through all of those stages and steps. So when you start off initially, I can't say there's a right or wrong way to do your pricing. Like you said, you were charging a ridiculously low price. The truth is, that's what you were comfortable charging. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that's with everyone is what we're comfortable charging. Now, don't get the big head and think that you can just come out the gate and charge grandiose prices because you haven't proven yourself and everyone knows you haven't proven yourself. And a lot of times being brand new is almost a gift in itself because people know you're brand new and know that you'll probably have a lower cost than other people. So you can get your testimonials, you can get your reviews, you can get all of those types of things initially on. But as you grow, you've got to become more, you've got to gain your business acumen. That definitely has to happen.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing. And what you were saying about being comfortable, I know that's definitely true for me. Mm-hmm. You know, I charge could I charge more for things? Yes, I could. But I'm comfortable with it. However, and again, in this show, I haven't really talked a lot about negatives for myself, but I do see this as one of my biggest negatives, is that my mentality is so different that I think, okay, well, I'm charging what I'm comfortable with, and as you said, there's no right or wrong. I slightly disagree with you, which it should come as no surprise.
Yeah, no surprise. No surprise.
Anyone. You know, I about what you said about if everyone is saying yes, because the way I look at that is people also see the value. You know, because they say yes may not necessarily mean it's a bad price, a low price, but they understand the value of what comes with that price. Now that's my perception. I have no dog in this fight when it comes out. Other people see that.
You know,
but now that's my take on is, okay, what is the value that I'm getting for X amount of dollars? You know, now
you compare yourself when you compare. Well, if I compare you to like other people that do what you do, I always know that when I buy something from you, like most people know, you're going to get more than you paid for.
Right.
People know that. I mean, I know that. I think it's a standard that people come to understand. They don't know what that extra value is going to be, but all of a sudden, oh, he did that too. You know, oh, yeah. You're going to do that. So that's an always, but most don't do that. This is what you get, and this is how much it costs.
Yeah. But Earl, I think that ties in perfectly. I'm glad you went there because I think that ties in perfectly with this topic of treating your business like a business. Think about how Ray Kroc redefined McDonald's and how he did it. Mm-hmm. By going above what everyone else was doing. That's what kind of differentiated himself. You know, Jeff Bezos, who I occasionally may talk about, you know, he's someone who I have a great deal of respect for. He's someone also, look at what he did with Amazon. Started off with books, moved into toys. Next thing you know, he's like, you know what? I'm going to let everyone come here and use my platform to build their business. You know, Martha Stewart did it too. I mean, anyone who's read her story, she started off selling $10 pies.
Yeah.
At a bake-off. Someone bought that pie. Next thing you know, that pie was $20.
$20, yeah.
It was the exact same pie, but she understood, okay, it's not just the pie they're buying the whole thing. They're buying, she was a beautiful woman, all of that stuff too. So it was the package they ended up buying. So I think that's why this topic is so important, that people understand what like you just said, Earl, which is, I love the way you said that, what separates you from other people. I know what separates me in my industry. Like you said, I'm going to do things above and beyond because that's just part of who I am. Now, I will say too, again, going to my negatives, is that the other bad thing about Cyrus Webb is that he forgets sometimes he's in business because I'm just doing what I love doing all day.
Yeah. So
that also becomes a negative in some respects because I don't even think about the price. Because I'm like, oh, you want to pay me to do that? Okay, I can do it for this. So talk about that, Earl, for beginners. Let's say people are just starting off.
Mm-hmm.
What should they keep in mind when it comes to making sure they're setting themselves up? You and I have talked about a lot of things. But what would you say to them about the importance of setting themselves up like a business?
Well, here's the thing. One of the things, especially with brand new entrepreneurs, brand new business owners, is that they don't know how to sell what they have. If you take someone like let's just say a photographer. Okay. I have a nephew that's a very, very good photographer. He knows the ins and outs of his camera. He knows how every button works. He knows how to take great pictures. He knows how to do great video. He knows all this stuff. What most entrepreneurs do is in a selling scenario or in a marketing scenario where they're trying to get people's attention, they're talking about how great they are. This is how great I am. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. That is completely, and it's wrong. Let me just put it that way. Long story short, that's wrong. What you have to do is sell the experience and the outcome. The experience and the outcome for that person that is looking to purchase your services. It is never about us. Never is it about us. It is always about that individual and the outcome of what's going to be through working with us. And so treating your business like a business, know that yourself. Even like if you went out on a date with someone or in a group setting and you had one person there and all they were doing was talking about themselves. Nobody likes that. You can't get a word in edgewise, and no one cares. No one cares. But people automatically care when you're asking them about themselves, your clients and your prospects. And this is one of the most important things I think I can say to business owners just starting out or that just have been in for a little while. You have to be able to convey that outcome of what that client is going to get in ways that they literally cannot say no.
Yeah. I think for me, Earl, the thing is that I will say this. I was really nerdy. Well, I've always been nerdy, so that's not really.
Yeah, I was about to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not really a thing. But I think one of the big things for me, when I was thinking about this for myself, before I even went full time, I had my LLC.
Yeah.
I went into doing at that time what was trademarking, CA Webb, that kind of thing. So I was already thinking about that part of what I was doing. I think a lot of times as we're having this conversation, I love what you were saying about being able to talk about what it is. I think that is also something all of us at times struggle with.
Yeah.
I've talked to you before. I've had problems because I do so many things. It's like I'm like, okay, how would you describe it? How would you describe what I do? If someone says, "What do you do?" That is a question I really fear.
Me too.
Because I always feel like I'm gonna say the wrong thing and then I'm gonna limit it. Now basically what I say is I run a multimedia business. That's basically what I say. That's my normal.
People they still don't know what that is.
They don't. But then if they ask a question, then I kind of do the rundown of I do this, all under this umbrella. But I think, the treating the business like a business for you, Earl, has that been when it comes to the business side? What has that been like for you? Because as you know, most creatives, we're not typically good at the business stuff.
Exactly.
So what has that been like for you? Has that been an easy part of you building your business?
No, it hasn't been an easy part. It's been a necessary part, and I've known I've had to learn it, and I've had to become good at it. Obviously I've set up my LLC. I have an accountant. We use QuickBooks. We track all of the stuff that I do so that I can pay my taxes. But so many times I think people put the cart before the horse because they're scared to drive the horse. Now, this is what I mean by that. People will go out, they'll have a business idea, they'll go out and set up an LLC, they'll get a bank account, they'll get business cards, pins with the business name on it, getting ready to get ready, right? And you ain't sold nothing yet. The thing is, if you have an idea for a business, or if you have a business, okay, sell it before you build it. And this is what that looks like. You have the idea, you talk about that on social media, you describe what it is that, the outcome that people will get with working with you and all of that kind of stuff, so that you can prove that your concept is a viable business entity. Then because you can back into all that other stuff, the LLC and getting an accountant and all that stuff, but you're spending all this money up front, but nothing has been sold. And you don't even know if anybody wants it, right? Sell it before you build it. That's my thing. And I know your thing is if you build it, they will come. So it's kind of the same thing. Sell it before you build it and they will come. It's really the same thing. Just prove it before you start spending all this money on names and LLCs. And then you go to get the LLC and somebody already has that name. Now you got to change the name. You got to reorder business cards. You understand what I mean by that?
Yeah. And I think that, but again, it's those little things that we sometimes miss. Melissa had talked to me about a situation. I'm probably going to get this wrong. But I think someone that she knew had a name for their business, and someone else had that business name and it already had it copyrighted and everything. And the person ended up having to change that. I think, it definitely, those logistics.
Now, website, build a whole website.
Yeah. Now, I will say, with me being a person who thinks of things with the end in mind, I knew when I started the CA Webb thing that was going to be my thing. I knew that, even though I don't use CA Webb as much for what I do with multimedia.
Yeah.
I knew that I would always, even if I wasn't doing multimedia, I was still going to be an artist. I was still going to write. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that was important to protect that part of it, of what I do. I don't think I always have thought about I didn't think about pricing. I didn't think about all of those other things, but it all is important to getting to the goal. So let me ask you this, Earl, for our audience then, as we're talking about treating our business like a business, in your estimation, how important is a goal when you start your business?
Well, you have to have some sort of goal. Now, we talked last week about being money motivated, right? Motivated, right? And how that affects business. Some people are money motivated, and that's pretty much the only goal that they have. But I believe in the world that we live in now, it's got to be about how many eyeballs are actually watching you. How many people are actually interested in what it is that you have to say? So when let's just say you're starting some sort of business, you start talking about that thing on social media is one way to prove out the concept of if people are even interested in this thing that you're talking about, that you're passionate about, hopefully, and that you're very, very interested in, because you and I both know if you're not in love with what it is that you do, you'll quit. You will get bored. You won't stick with it. You'll make all this content and then you're gone. I was looking for, you got me to sign up on Amazon Music today for podcasts. And I was looking through podcasts to see ones that I might want to subscribe to. And so I was looking at a specific genre, and there would be podcasts there, but there hadn't been a podcast made since 2021. And I'm like, okay, but now I'm guilty of that too. I've done the same thing. But I'm looking for current information. And so never even be scared of competition in your arena, even if you know other people are doing it, because you don't know if they're consistent with it, or you can find out relatively quickly. But if you're the one that's always showing up, then that's going to make a difference. So I say all that to say, when you have a goal, I think just starting out, the goal can't be money. It has to be who's interested, who are the eyeballs. And then after that, okay, who's willing to buy? And then after that, okay, how do we scale that up to get more people like the people that already like it.
Yeah. And I think it goes to what we've talked about before too, Ron. It's interesting how we didn't plan this, but how these topics kind of go into each other. And that is too about thinking about the audience, thinking about your customer, your prospective customer. And I think it goes to what you were saying even earlier in today's show, and that is, thinking about what the person is willing to buy, what they're willing to pay. Thinking about all of those things when you're setting this up, I think definitely makes a big difference. Because again, I mean, like you talk about too, you can have all these great ideas, but it's not a business until you actually are doing it and making.
You've made a sale.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise, because there is this whole conversation. How do you feel about this, Earl, as we wrap up this? Because I think for some people too, as they think about where they are, there are people I have found, I've been treated this way, who have seen what I've done in the past, not saying now, but in the past, like it's almost treating it like they treat it like it's a hobby. Not saying I was treating it like it was a hobby, but they looked at it as, oh, he's doing this little thing. He's doing this thing. I think a lot of people have either heard that or been guilty of saying it to someone. How do you go about then making sure that you're not the one treating your business like a hobby instead of a business? What advice would you give for that, Earl?
Well, I think whether it's a hobby or whether it's a business. I don't think that's a blind spot for anyone, because if it's a hobby, you're doing it here and there. You may be passionate about it, but you're not, if you don't show up one day that you're supposed to show up, you really don't care. It's like it's just a hobby. Now, if it's a business, you're going to treat it like that, hopefully. But some people, I think they get kind of cloudy. Well, I said I was going to be here every Monday at 3, but I felt, not that many people showed up last time. I'll just do it the following Monday. Well, no, what'll happen is less people will start showing up because you're not showing up, right? Yeah. And so when you look at your business, what do you have in order already? And when I'm talking about things in order, it's like on social media. You and I have talked for the past 2 months. Like, you've been helping me get my schedule together of posting and things like that. So I've gotten a lot better at that, even though you say it took me a month to do it. But anyway, I'm doing it now. Right. So I'm posting better. And you have to, if you don't show up, no one will. So you can't show up, 2 times and then ghost and expect people to buy from you.
Yeah.
You can't. And social media today is just everything. It's everything.
Such a great point. And I hope our audience get this. I mean, like we kind of said at the beginning of it, and we kind of both, Earl and I, agreed on this. So the show could have stopped there, where we said it all starts up here. It all starts in the mind. And if you're treating your business like a business, which is the topic, how to treat your business, it all begins on how you see it. Do you see it like a hobby, as Earl was just saying? Is it something you just do when you don't have anything else going on? Are you thinking about your audience that you're building? Are you thinking about how it's perceived, how people look at it, how it's being compared to by other people, like we talked about here? What's setting what you do apart from other people? I think all of those things definitely work in. So what I would hope the audience takes away, Earl, is that they really start doing that evaluation. I think that, people don't like to think they think you can overthink. I don't think you can overthink when it comes to what you're doing, the impact you can. I don't believe anyone would say Jeff Bezos overthought Amazon. I don't think they would say that Martha Stewart overthought Martha Stewart media on the media. They wouldn't say that the guy who did the fruit, they would not say that
Steve Jobs, iPhone, Apple, yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they would not say that he, same thing that Jeff Bezos and Martha Stewart. They wouldn't say that he overthought it. So I say that to say, realize that your idea is just as important as theirs.
Yeah.
And what separates you from other people is how you treat it.
The execution of it, all of that. Yeah. And I'm sorry to cut you off, Cyrus, but I think there's a point we're missing too. A lot of people that are starting businesses are doing this on a part-time basis. And so they almost have a comfort level. They really don't have to make money. They may want to. They may want to start a business, but that full-time job, I forget, it was one of the sharks. I forget who said it. It's like your full-time job is the price you pay for not accomplishing your dreams. and sometimes that is true. People say, I want to start something, but, they got a good job down at the post office, Yeah. So they sacrifice their dream for that paycheck.
Yeah.
Not that that's right or wrong.
Right. Yeah, because when I first started Webb Incorporated, I was in a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
In the hotel business. So, I mean, I think that's it too. But I think even though it may be your part or full-time thing, I think that should not diminish the way you see it because it's yours.
No, it should not. No.
Yeah, because it's yours. Mm-hmm. And if something were, Earl and I have had these conversations, if something were to happen to something else you're doing, at least you would have something of your own that is yours. And then what you chose to do with it is up to you. I think that's the big thing there. I like this topic, Earl. We could keep going on this. It's an important topic, I think, because it does go to mindset. It goes to your intent, but also how much you care about what you do and the audience that you're serving.
Yeah.
To the point that Earl was making, I think that is the big thing. So thank you all so much for being with us. Kira, thank you so much for watching us as well. Also, as you heard Earl mention last week, October is National Book Month. I actually did go ahead and bring my book this time. Where that you guys can see it there. You guys see it every day online because I post it from my inspirational messages. Yeah, I'm just saying I do that. I'm not saying other people should, but
yeah,
I can because it has something for every day. But my book is available. No judgment here, but my book is available if you guys are joining us on YouTube. It'll be with the link with this broadcast, but also if you're joining us on Instagram, you'll find the link in my bio for that. And Earl, what about for yourself?
Well, you going to tell them about the new thing we're doing?
I thought you
said you were going to.
What about your book?
I don't have my book. I don't have it in my hand. Okay. It's National Book Month. I have a book. You can find it in the link on my profile in Instagram. For National Book Month. You can find it. Step to voiceover.
Okay, Melissa thinks shade. Were you throwing shade at me, Earl? Is that what you were doing? Is that?
I wasn't. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't. It's not on my screen.
Because she couldn't be talking about me throwing, because I don't do that.
Well, no, you never throw shade.
So
never in our conversations.
Yeah. So so there is something coming. We'll fill you guys in more about that. Earl and I are working on something. Just came up with a brilliant idea today, which we're both very excited about.
No, you revealed a brilliant idea today. You had the idea 4 weeks ago, but it was revealed today to me. So let's get it square. Let's get it square.
Earl, I think that I would say that Earl and I came to a great idea today.
We came to a very good idea today.
We came to a great idea today. I don't know why he's trying to make it like I'm some kind of puppet man.
Well,
I don't know how people do that.
I like how you did that.
Yeah, like I'm some kind of
so natural. That was so natural.
Well, because you're down there and it looks neat because you're down. It works because you're down there and I'm just like, you need to move your hand. There you go. Okay, we're going to get canceled. We have way too much fun doing this, but thank you all so much for being with us. Earl will be leading next week's discussion, which is how much does your family influence your business decisions? That should be good.
Oh, boy. I do have a therapy session this week, so I will be ready.
So that I'm excited. I'm really curious about this because I can already tell y'all it don't for me. It don't for me. But no, it should be a great topic. Earl, once again, great show, man. Thank you. Man. And again, we thank all of you for allowing us to be with you as we help you to mind your business, and we try to do the same with ours. You guys take care. We'll see you next time.
See you later, guys.